Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to How to Stop Worrying from Dandapani. So, I think this is something that everyone obviously would want, but at the same time, this is a very short video. So, anyways, I haven't really reacted to a lot of his videos because he hasn't really put out very much, but lately he's been putting out quite a bit. So, or he's been putting out some, let's just put it that way. But they were pretty good ones, so I'm kind of curious as to what he has to say. I'm kind of curious, I can't remember what path he took. I can't remember. I definitely got to look it up again. So I understand from what perspective he's coming from. I don't think it's Advaita Vedanta. I think maybe it's Buddhism to some degree. I'm not sure honestly, but I definitely want to look it up. And let's go ahead and get started. So, how to stop worrying.
Do you worry a lot? Let me share with you a story that my guru once told. When he was 7 years old in 1934, up in Lake Tahoe, his family was coming back in a car and it was snowing really heavily. He was worried the entire time that his car would get stuck in the snow and he would miss his favorite radio program. He said, "What if we get stuck? What if we can't get out of the snowstorm?"
Interesting, because this is kind of the perspective that I had so far. Let me try to guess what he's trying to get at here. I just want to see if I'm thinking along the same lines as him. And it goes along the lines of what Eckhart, I believe, and a lot of, and even Sadhguru, and I believe those have specifically said this, is essentially is think of the present. So don't, the future hasn't happened, it's all imagination. The past already happens, that's all memory. The past is nothing but memory, the future is nothing but imagination. The present is now and only the only thing that's ever real is the present. And so when you're thinking about all these things, it's you're imagining what would happen. You're causing yourself to worry when you have nothing, when you have no reason to worry for the moment. Could you get stuck? Yes, but maybe not. Could you get in an accident? Yes, but maybe not. So you're worrying about these potentialities that probably won't happen, and you're causing yourself undue stress or worrying. There's also a saying that if you believe in it enough, eventually it'll come true. You essentially manifest your own destiny in a sense that you believe in it so much, but it's usually in a negative terms, not in a positive, though. I believe.
I would miss my favorite radio program. In that moment, he saw his awareness going into the future, creating a situation in his mind that has not happened, then his awareness coming back to the present and worrying about the situation that he created in his mind. Then he said to himself, "Are we stuck in the snow?" He would answer no. "Are we still moving?" Yes. And he realized that fear and worry is future-based. And he realized also, right that moment, that in the eternity of the moment, I am all right now. And that's what he affirmed to himself. Fear and worry is future-based. Every time you see your awareness going into the future and creating a situation that hasn't happened, that you're about to worry about, gently and lovingly bring your awareness back to the present and affirm to yourself, I am all right now.
Gently and affirmingly bring it back. No, you come back here now, awareness. You come back here. Not there, here. But yeah, interesting. And that's quite interesting. I was gonna say that's quite wise. I don't know what the right word was, but it's again what he did is essentially what I did when I was in college. He did it as a child. But anyways, I would love, I guess, if anyone watches this video and you happen to care to answer in the comments, is what was the kind of turning point for you? Clearly here, he saw that he realized that he was creating this imagination of the future, for potentialities of future, in a negative sense. The only reason why we think of things in a negative sense is because that's what we have to worry about. Why would we worry about making it home? Why would we worry about getting a good night's sleep? Why would we worry about winning $1 million? There's nothing to worry about those things. So the only thing to worry about, the only thing we're concerned about, is the negative outcomes. That's the reason why These are the things that we think about all the time. And it's the reason why it's kind of talked about in the news because, good positive things is great, doesn't affect me necessarily, but negative things might affect me, and I don't want negative things in my life. So I have to be aware and conscious of all the negative things instead of the positives. So, anyways, and my turning point, for an example, is college. I took a world religion class. I believe I had a Hindu teacher. She had the red dot on her forehead. I believe she looked very much Indian as well, and she did dress the part too. And I remember her when we went to Buddhism, and I remember the words that life is suffering. That was the very moment I had a deep thought, and then my life changed. Really, it did. And it's not like boom, changed instantly, but at that moment things started changing. Dominoes started falling, you could say, to make me realize about life, about if life is suffering. And I thought about it, and I was like, it is. It's to become successful is painful. To have a child is painful. To raise a child is painful. To have a parents are painful. To live is painful. But I decided to choose not to. Essentially, what I was doing was I was saying to myself that I'm not going to let these things affect me. Because, like Sadhguru said, I have control over this body. I have 100% control over this body to a degree. Obviously, I can't make my heart beat like 6 times faster unless I run or whatever, Like, I don't have that kind of control. But I do have control over my thoughts and sense my emotions of what I think about things for the most part. Sadhguru says you have 100% control of this. I say I do agree with that to a lot of degree. So people get offended by the simplest things, and a lot of other people are like, "Why are you offended by that? It's just nothing." People who don't get offended by a lot of things have gone, generally speaking, have gone through a lot and also are a lot wiser. Because being offended is not something that you want to be anyway, especially petty things. So, like I said, the college course for me was the turning point of me starting to realize things about suffering, not about awareness. So it's all a part of being more aware, but that is at least one part for me that has changed for sure. Never thought about my true self or Atman Brahman. No, it's just the suffering itself. I realized that I can choose not to suffer. I can choose not to be offended. I can choose not to be saddened by things. But in order for you to kind of do that too, you have to have a little bit of a realization as to why. Why would you just choose not to suffer? It's like, well, I don't need to suffer. Or, like, for example, if a loved one has died, well, for me, that's a realization. Maybe they're older, and it's time for them to go. Everyone dies, and you don't have to be saddened by their death. I mean, obviously, you're going to be, but you don't have to suffer so much for it. You can appreciate the fact that you're still alive. You can appreciate the life that the person that has died has lived, and then the kind of impact they had in your life. You can appreciate those things. You can look at those things in a positive sense. They have lived a good life, hopefully, and that they've had an impact on a lot of people's lives in a positive way. So you don't have to look at it, it's like, oh, it's over with or anything. You can look at the positive things that they have done in their life and the impact they had in your life. Look at that as something to go forward with, and that you are grateful for the time that they've spent with you and the time they had on this earth. Boy, I said a lot of things there, but I hope it made sense anyways. So anyways, that's my reaction to how to stop worrying. So like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.